Mark Dog, what is up, my brother? Good to see you on this Friday morning. Jack's here hanging out, sitting outside the door. West Side Neighborhood 40s, good morning. Cuddy Black, good morning. Jack, what's wrong? You gonna sit here the whole time? Good morning, guys. Good morning, good morning. It's Friday, it's cold in Florida. I've seen quite a few funny things on social media already this morning. We live in a crazy, crazy world, man. We live in a crazy world. Oh my Lord. I'm trying, Zionic 484. I'm trying. Listen, me and Guy, Sister Nino, my buddy Guy, we were laughing our butts off the other day. Man, Nathan, hi. I don't know if I've shared this with you guys. I might have said it in the very beginning, or maybe I didn't. But Friday the 13th became a very special day for me. Not because I love Jason Voorhees, but when I was putting in for the halfway house in prison. Thank you, Zionic. So in prison, in the program that I did, right, the RDAP program, they lie to you and they tell you that you qualify, or no, excuse me, this is what they say. They say you complete the program, you get a year off your sentence, and you get a year of halfway house time, right? So that sucks everybody in, right out the gate, because think about it, that's 2 years out of prison. That's amazing. Now, what they don't tell you until you're in the program is that different prisons allow different amounts of halfway house time, right? Now, my prison, they said they will not give the 12 months of halfway house time unless you have a 60-month or greater sentence. So I had 54 months. So I didn't qualify for that. Now, meanwhile, I saw some of these guys that got in there good with the right people that were given freaking 2 months of 2 years of halfway house time. Now, I wouldn't want to sit in the halfway house for that long because the halfway house is terrible. But that just shows that they can wheel and deal whatever they want, right? Now, the other thing they say is it all comes down to the halfway house is having room, which I can tell you the halfway house is a revolving door. So they tell you a bunch of bullshit, right? So anyway, the head of the damn program said that I should at least be getting 9 months. Well, my case manager wasn't having it. That's not the way we do things, Braun. That's not the way we do things, Braun. So anyway, I ended up getting 7 months of halfway house time. I wanted as much as I could get, man, as much as I could get. And the date that came back for the halfway house for me to leave was Friday the 13th, last October. And it was crazy when they gave me my date. There was a bunch of the guys there that were like, Friday the 13th? Change your date, bro, change your date. That's bad luck. And I was like, there's no way I'm changing my date. I'm trying to get out of here as fast as I come. I'm not staying in prison one more day than I have to. So I got out of prison on Friday the 13th. And so for me, Friday the 13th is now, it's gonna forever be remembered as a good luck day for me. So pretty cool, right? Pretty cool. Shout out to Friday the 13th. What's up, guys? Good morning, good morning. It's Friday. And what do we got going on? Our government wants to invade Armenia. Whoa. Republic of Azerbaijan. Brian, good morning. Watch yourself. Good morning. Misha. Misha, I am currently in Boca Raton. I've been here for 10 years, minus the 2 years that I was in prison. Originally from Connecticut. Robert Carius, I will. I don't know the real history of it, to be honest with you. Is it biblical? I'm not sure. Shout out to Texas. Is Jason confirmed? No, he is not. Yes, that is true. Superstitions are only as good as the energy you put into them. Listen, I did a lot of strange superstitious behavior when I was young, especially when I was competing. Certain things had to be a certain way. Excel does not sell cards. So there used to be Excel Auto Group and Excel Sport and Service. So the auto group, part of it, the owner apparently was doing some very shady stuff, and they shut down. Now, the sport and service, they actually used to be called Fineworks Automotive. When they merged, they changed the name. So they don't sell cars, they do all the tunes. However, I guess they are planning to expand into start selling cars next year, moving into a bigger space. My boss says they've been looking at stuff now, which I think would be cool. I reached the Canadian KO. See, look, boxing video after the one you posted yesterday. The original video is still a class. Oh, I'm back. Okay. Weird. Did I disappear? That was strange. My screen just went black for a minute. Strange. I'll tell you, man, this, the townhouse that I'm in, this room, it's like, you know, this solid cement garage area. Things just freeze down here. Oh my God, Mr. Maserati. That guy was hilarious, smart dog. That's an old one. I forgot about that guy, Mr. Maserati. He looked kind of like, he looked kind of like Blade. Oh my God, Garage Gym homie, my brother, what is up, bro? Good to see you here, man. God bless you, sir. Thank you for gracing us with your presence, my dude. Garage Gym Homie, anybody in here who hasn't subscribed or checked out Garage Gym Homie, man. Great energy, awesome guy. The best honest supplement reviews. And he's in absolutely ridiculous shape. I'm trying to get lean like Garage Gym Homie. Trying to get there. On my way, at least. On my way. I did one set of traps today, guys. Just one. That's it. I don't do them. I can't do them. I just did one. No, my partner wanted to do some. Love you, buddy. Raina Soto, good morning. David, good morning. SoCal in the house. What part of SoCal, David? Where do you train out there? I used to love training at the Worlds in San Diego. Can you mention what are the health subs that you are using now? Whew. Let's go through them. I wake up in the morning. I take a baby aspirin. I take turmeric. I take Adrenal Care by BSL. What else do I take first thing in the morning? I take a probiotic. And then on my way to the gym, I take the BSL IGF-1 and Halo Elite, although there are no Halo Elites these days, which sucks. I'm missing that one. Now I also do 600 milligrams of injectable L-carnitine. And I'm also in the morning using some BPC 157, 1 milligram. Then I go to the gym. Now for the rest of the day, I pepper in quite a few things. Fish oils. I take a lot of fish oils. I take 10,000 IUs of D3. I take gear support twice a day. I also do the adrenal care again at night. And then for my fun stuff, I do 100 milligrams of testosterone cypionate every other day. So that's 3 days a week, basically. That's 300 milligrams a week. Half of a milligram of an estradiol, or some of the bodybuilders will know as Arimidex, on Wednesday and Sunday. And I'm now using 3 units of Serostim before bed. So about once or twice a week, I mess around with the Anesthetized, but I learned my lesson on the full scoop. Woo! I took a full scoop the other day. My wife didn't wake me up, right? First of all, I get up, guys. I get up with no alarm clock at 5 o'clock every day. And that's just me. I'm an early bird. Prison made me even more of an early bird. I just like to get up and go. Now, with the wife is sick, and I don't want to get sick. So, plus I've been training hard. So I was like, man, you know what? I need to get some good sleep. I'm going to do a whole scoop of Anesthetized. Well, ladies and gentlemen, I stayed up kind of late. I took a whole scoop of Anesthetized at about 11:30, 11:45. I put it right in there with my poop shake that I drink every night. I'm laying there in bed. I feel her like lightly kissing me. And I start to open my eyes. She goes, babe, it's 8 o'clock. I said, what? I was sleeping so hard. She goes, you haven't even moved the entire night. I usually wake up to pee a couple times. She's like, you're in the same spot. I slept straight 8 hours like I was in a coffin. And I'll tell you guys, the problem with that, and I want to warn you guys. So for the first hour of the day, I was kind of in a little bit of like, I was in a little bit of a fog, to be honest with you. But once I took a shower, right, and it cleared, I felt like I was like this all day long. Super energized all day long. So I'm going back to half a scoop for when I do take it. The other thing that I throw in, guys, so I use sugar-free Metamucil every night in my poop shake with my juiced up. But once a week, I use my good friend Dave Palumbo's Fiberlize. Fiberlize will wipe you out. Listen, my wife is, she's getting into the 3rd trimester, and Garage only says full scoop or nothing. Listen, I tell you, if you are a really bad sleeper, then yes. But if you're just testing it out, I say go with a half scoop. But listen, 1 scoop, you're gonna sleep. So listen, my wife, I'm sorry, this may embarrass her. She's getting to the 3rd trimester. She's been having some like constipation issues, right? You're pregnant, you can't really take anything. Doctor told her to eat prunes. So I'm like, listen, take the Fiberlize. Everyone will poop from Fiberlize. I've never met anyone that didn't poop from Fiberlize. People that say that fiber doesn't work for them, they take Fiberlize and they poop. Anyway, I got her to take it. She didn't like the taste. I was like, just drink it. She told me, she was like, babe, I pooped so much, I wanted to take a picture of it. I was like, please don't show me a picture of your poop. She was like, no, I didn't. I won't do that. I know. But I just couldn't believe it. And she's like, showed me her stomach. She's like, I feel like I look way less pregnant now. I'm like, oh my God, you look totally different. That's how backed up she was. She actually looks like she's like 2 months less pregnant now. That's how good the Fiberlize is. Thank you for saying that, though, about the the anesthetized. So the story of anesthetized, guys, is when I was bodybuilding, us old school guys, the only thing on the market that would make you sleep was Somatomax, which is made by High Tech, of course, my partner, Jared Wheat. So I was like, hey man, can we make a new version of Somatomax, man? I think we could sell the shit out of that. And Jared was like, sure. And boom. That's how Anesthetized was born. Now, remember, guys, I'm talking about old stories from Blackstone Labs in my past, not anything new. I'm not on probation. I can't work for Blackstone Labs. So if you like the Somatomax, you're going to love the Anesthetized. Melanie, hey, what's going on? Oh, thank you, Cuddy Back. How old are your kids? Let's see. Giving advice for ambitious, lazy 29 years old. How do you become ambitious and lazy together? Are the ideas in your head, but you're not going out and executing them? 29 is golden time. The 20s, woo. Man, I was a maniac in my 20s. Good Lord. It's actually incredible that I haven't fathered at least a dozen kids with how I was in my 20s. 2 and a newborn. Wow, babies, that's so fun. How's the 2-year-old? My little nephew Anthony is 2, and he's really, really, really smart, and he's getting into that like kind of bad age now. That naughty, terrible 2 age now. What is Coach Karen up to? Good question. Beautiful sickening Rolex. I did talk to her briefly, maybe a month or so ago. I think she's actually back doing a little bit of coaching. She's very private these days. She looks amazing, actually. I saw her. She looks fantastic. Body is on point. Face looking lovely. So she seems to be doing really, really well. She's just more private, I guess, on social media these days. Morgan Brazier, good morning. Welcome, guys. If you guys haven't checked out the video that I posted yesterday, it's honestly a hilarious 8-minute story that I'm, years later now, I'll be telling some of these stories that I didn't tell back then for fear of upsetting people or whatever, but it's all good and fun. And that Kenny KO boxing match, that was a funny thing that we put on, man. Good to see you here, Morgan. What's going on? So anyway, it's Friday. You guys know I don't do the cardio on the weekends. I've been taking it easy. I'm really wanting my wife to take it easy this weekend. She's been working very, very hard. Long hours all week. She worked till 7 last night. Standing on her feet a lot. Mark Dog says, my 2 daughters are 29 and 25. Both are lawyers. I had them very young. Now being a grandfather is the best experience of my... Man, that's amazing. Congratulations. Congratulations. 2 daughters, grown up, went through the education, went through the extra school to become attorneys. That's beautiful, man. You should be proud. I hope you are. I heard that being a grandfather is amazing. I hear it from Marissa's dad all the time. He loves being a grandpa. He's a really good grandpa. Have I tried the UFC game? No, it looks cool. I haven't played any video games in quite some time. Oh, I got the dentist office texting me now, telling me I gotta confirm for next week. Whew. So, sun's about to come out on the West Coast and heading into work now, but have a blessed day, PJ. Hey, thank you so much, David. I appreciate it. I did a little interview yesterday that I believe is going to get on Muscle and Fitness. Pretty excited about that. Really, really, really nice girl who interviewed me. It's interesting the way that they do all the Zooms now. It's recorded and the AI records everything and so fancy and high tech. Morgan says, bro, UFC is fire, especially when you play someone else, you can fight a bot. What do you play it on? PlayStation? God bless, David. Have a wonderful one. Make it great. Tips on knee pain on leg day. So, as I've gotten older, my knee pain has gotten progressively more annoying. Okay, Xbox. I was an Xbox guy in my younger days. So, Cuddy Black, listen, a lot of people will tell you that the foam roller is stupid. It's not, though. It's a great tool to use before you train to get everything moving around and get blood in the right areas. So on leg day, I foam roll for like 5 minutes. I foam roll my low back. I foam roll the fuck out of my quads. It hurts bad. I foam roll my sides, my hips, everything. And I also stretch before I train legs. They tell you not to stretch a cold muscle, but I foam roll first. So I got some blood going in there, and I stretch the fuck out of my hamstrings. I stretch my groin. I stretch my quads. I stretch my calves. And then when I train legs, because I do everything on the same day, I start out with hamstrings, and I get my hamstrings hit hard first. And I find my knees feel significantly better when I do that. Starting out fresh when you're colder with extensions or really any kind of quad focused exercise is going to be harder on the knees. So if you're doing your legs all on one day, order it like that. I promise you it's not going to take away from your quads. Now, if you're doing a quad day and you're doing a hamstring day, you can still go on, for instance, the adduction machine, squeeze, warm your legs up like that, get a little hammies going anyway where it's not tiring you out, and put it in. I'm telling you, that's been really, really tremendous for me. I have a Theragun, and I gun all around my knee, not on my actual kneecap, but I get that area warmed up quite a bit. So the more you warm your area up before you get into the heavy load, I'm telling you, it's worth it. It's not going to take away from the actual work that you're doing. And honestly, even if it is, you're pre-exhausting it, which is great. I'm all about the pre-exhaust methods. Yes, I am. So my favorite band in the world, Tool, who I honestly haven't been listening to too much lately, which is weird, is doing a concert, oh my God, in Punta Cana. Have anybody seen that? Man, I wish I could leave the country. That looks so cool. And I'm sure it's expensive to go. It ain't happening for me, but I keep seeing the stuff about it on Instagram. Man, oh man, would I love to go to that. But anyway, I'm glad that you're enjoying that method, Cuddy Black. Take your time, Morgan. I ain't going anywhere. I'm here for a little while. We're going to stay on a little bit. It's Friday. Got to get a good sweat going. I am going on my man Beatty's podcast tonight. 4 o'clock, I'll be on there with him. I'm not sure if it's me and him or if he's going to have the crew on there. By crew, I mean all the different pro bodybuilders that are way bigger than me and younger than me. God bless them. But I actually really love doing his podcast. I don't know if any of you guys heard the podcast that I did with Joe Zapata and Greg Valentino Wednesday night. Those guys are really cool. That was a fun one. Love those guys. They said some very nice things about Marissa, which I really appreciated. It made me feel good. And that's it, man. It's Friday. You know, Fridays are a little slower in here. People don't want to come on as much. Do you think dogs belong in the gym? You know, that's a good question, Nathan. I think it depends on the kind of gym. So if it's like an LA Fitness, absolutely not. Absolutely not. It also depends on the dog, right? So when I was in Connecticut, the Montanari Brothers gym, humongous gym, wide open gym. They had a dog, I think it was a boxer, named Romeo. And he was cool as fuck, and he was chill, and he didn't like fuck around. He usually just chilled in his bed, but sometimes you'd see him out. My boss, his girl, brings their little tiny ass Yorkie to the gym, and he literally just goes and he sleeps on this little pad while we train. Although when he first gets there, if I'm foam rolling, he thinks it's a good idea to hop up on my chest. I've almost rolled over him. Thank God I haven't. I'd crushed the poor little thing. So I think it depends. Now, I wouldn't want my dog Jack in the gym, even though he's cute as fuck, because he loves people too much. And he would want to be all up in everybody's business. So I really think it depends on the setting and the establishment. Morgan said I changed my profile to your face. Oh my God. I have not prayed today. We usually pray at night. Although last night we didn't. Both of us fell asleep early. Slackers. Lampret, hello. I do like Passenger from Deftones with Maynard. Great song. Great, great song. The local bodybuilding gym has dogs. The owner has 2. So everyone else brings them. I've seen like 10 dogs in there before. And I'm like, yo, someone's going to get hurt. Yeah, that's kind of crazy, man. 10 dogs in a gym. I don't know how big of a gym it is, but Montanari Bros gym is enormous, guys. Like, it's probably like 30,000 square feet. So one dog hanging out at the front, cool as fuck. Everybody likes seeing him when they walk in. But multiple dogs on the gym floor is definitely dangerous. Like I said, we let little Luca come in the morning, but he's like 1 pound. You know what I mean? He chills. Jack, you know, I love him more than anything. He's sitting right here watching me. But I wouldn't want to have to yell at him and tell him, Jackie, go lay down or whatever, if he was in the gym. So Zionic 484, I've read quite a bit about SLU PP 332. And it was kind of between that and 5-amino 1MQ. I decided to try the 5-amino 1MQ first, which I'm currently experimenting with. And I'll probably try the SLU after that. I didn't want to run them together. People say they run great together. But here's the thing, I hate when people say run these things together. Because, first of all, A, which one is being more beneficial to you? B, does that mean that they have to be run together? And C, how can you really tell? So whenever I introduce something new, I like to introduce one thing and go with it, record it, and move on. So I'm a couple weeks into the 5-amino 1MQ. Castillo's only, I like that, only dog allowed in the gym is me. That's right, baby. Yeah, I mean, look, Jack's old, he's here chilling, look at Jack. Jackie boy. Hi, Jackie. He's just chilling, you know. But the thing is, if you get him in the gym with a bunch of people, he loves people. So he won't understand, you know, like he's going to want to go and meet everybody. Too many broccoli heads in the gym, absolutely not. What is up with the broccoli heads? It's so weird to me. Had a really good talk with my partner yesterday. I like to pick his brain. He's like literally a genius. I asked him if there are any new exciting stimulant-based ingredients on the horizon that nobody knows about. But he says no, not yet. DMH, best bet by far. Would I rather shave bald or be a broccoli head? Well, I shaved it pretty short in prison after the man bun, and people thought I was part of the Aryan Brotherhood, so I don't know if I would do that again. But if I had to choose, I would absolutely shave over being a broccoli head. I love having my hair, though. How do you research chem sites come up with new shit? I keep seeing those insane sounding new drugs come up. Those poor rats. I know. Fortunately, there's so many rats to mess around with. Will 2 IUs of HGH be enough to grow muscle? Absolutely. GH is phenomenal. But remember, GH works in synergy with testosterone. So if testosterone is high and you're anabolic, whether it's natural or if you're taking exogenous testosterone, that combination is going to be great. If you're just doing GH alone, yes, you'll build some muscle, you'll get some great fat burning effect out of it, some recovery, but you want to have that testosterone base. Tanya, good morning, my lady. Morgan, bro, did you voice chill guy? Did you voice chill guy? What do you mean? 4+ IUs, preferably 9. SLU started working after 1 week. Yeah, so my first week of the 5-amino 1MQ, so I would also have to do my blood again. One of the very interesting things with the 5-amino is that it's actually supposed to have positive effect on your cholesterol levels and ratio, which mine are actually doing pretty good now anyway. It'd be very interesting to see that, as well as also what it can do with blood sugar control. So Zionic, if you haven't read about the 5-amino 1MQ yet, read about that one, because I read about them both and it seemed sexier than the SLU. But I only found one guy doing it alone, and I'm not going to say his name, but he seemed to be doing great with it. Most of the people that I talked to were actually doing them together, but I did bring it up on the podcast with Beatty, and it didn't seem like he knew about it. And then he found out a bunch of other people were just starting it as well, so look into that one. I'm always looking for ways to be leaner. But that one is definitely on my radar. Whew. Let's see here. What else we got going on? New training video will be out Monday. So every Monday night, the new training videos will be out. We did chest, fucked him up. Proud of him though. He did awesome. I gotta watch my voice on here. Watch the swears. Win hard. Great chest workout. Great tips once again. So every Monday will be those. How am I bypassing all the fake food and chemicals in it? Are you sending away for food? Nope. I'm not. Actually, I'd be doing most of my shopping at Costco, man. But I eat pretty basic, with exception to when I'm eating like pizza on the weekends. Castillos, how hard is it to, if you're asking how hard it is to start a clothing brand, it's difficult. Very, very, very heavily competitive. You know, I started a woman's clothing line with my ex-wife years ago, 2014, Celestial Bodies, and we made a lot of money. However, she was a famous TV star, and we had a lot of people paying attention to her, and I was at the prime of my, fame with Blackstone Labs, and we had literally, dozens of mega following girls posting. We had a lot of things. We had a cool idea. So listen, we had a lot of things going. But as a man, trying to come up with something that competitive, I mean, everybody sells t-shirts, you know what I mean? if you got a lot of money and you have the connections to go overseas, you have to go overseas. To have success, and I don't even know if this is what the question was, but to have success in clothing, you have to go overseas. You have to. You cannot do it. I know it sucks. Maybe things will change eventually. You cannot manufacture in the United States. The price is terrible. To give you an example, guys, my Celestial Bodies leggings. When I first started manufacturing in the United States, my original manufacturer was charging us $32 a pair, right? Eventually got them down to $28. Once we got big enough, we flew out to LA, and we met with a guy from actually Bebe Sport, and he got us down to $22. So a significant change, right? But once we really grew with him, he said, I'd like to take you overseas. So overseas, to do what we wanted to do, $9 from Colombia or $11 from China. So the reason that we went with the $11 from China was that our turnaround time wound up being a little better with the minimums that we were doing. But in the USA, they would give us so many annoying delays, and they would tell us that putting the scrunch into the leggings was breaking a lot of the needles on the machines and this and that. So think about that, guys. Imagine the price difference if you're trying to create something where you're paying $32 an item versus $11 an item. You're making $20 more every time you sell a pair of pants. Think about the amount of money that you have to lay out. It's just dramatically different. So it is extremely difficult to grow a clothing line in the United States. Like these companies like Young LA and whatnot, they're probably getting those cotton shirts made for peanuts. Mackenzie, how would I recommend you begin learning carpentry? I know nothing about carpentry. Get into an apprentice program. Is Celestial Bodies still operational? No. I knew that when I removed myself and the Blackstone Labs team from that company, that it was going to fall apart. It crumbled in a matter of like 6 or 7 months and then lingered around a little bit longer. Unfortunately, a lot of times people have to learn things the hard way. I know I've had to learn things a lot the hard way, but ego is the enemy in life. And I've learned this the hard way, guys. So with a situation like that, it's very easy to be the face of something that's operational and running very, very, very efficiently behind the scenes. But when you remove all that behind the scenes, and it's just you now, the face, trying to figure all that out, if you're not really, really business savvy, you don't have all the right tools in the right places, whoo, let me tell you, it's a much different animal. You're welcome, Castillos. The gym clothing business is all about influence. I feel like Dark Sport makes the most goofy whack ass. I mean, listen, guys. Look at Gymshark. Personally, I've never bought anything from Gymshark in my life. I've also never bought anything from Gasp. Honestly, and this is this is my honest opinion. I think all that stuff is corny. I do. I think all of it's corny and the prices are stupid. The prices are stupid, man. You know what I mean? So it's not for me. I get it. People do it. I honestly, guys, I've been wearing Blackstone Labs t-shirts, since we started this company, most of them are next level, which makes good quality shit. But, you know, even the Blackstone oversized tees that they did while I was gone, and they did those tees because, you know, that's kind of like what Young LA and those companies do. I personally don't like those t-shirts. They're very heavy. I don't like that heavy material. I like the thin, you know, tri-blends and things like that. Then I think the next level stuff is great. But again, it's a different time. So if you want to wear a bunch of Gymshark and gas, you know, fancy, overpriced stuff, why not? Would I name my son Dale Chance? No. No, no, no. No, no, no. Nathan says, all my gym clothes are BSL sweats and China Amazon swingers. That's it, man. That's it. You know? Listen, guys, once I got to a point where I was doing a lot of business, and going into business meetings and this and that, I spent money on my suits because I like to wear a nice suit. But to the gym, where I'm gonna sweat and get dirty and everything else, give me the cheapest shit possible that I don't mind ruining it. And honestly, all my Blackstone next level stuff has lasted a long time. Do you find it hard being a business owner now, having to get a job? Well, I'm not a business owner anymore, technically. I have to sit here and watch from the sidelines things that maybe I don't like and this and that, but that's very frustrating. You know, I'd love to. All I want to do is be a business owner, but I'm literally not allowed to. So it's very, very frustrating, I will say. I'm doing my best to stay patient and stay present in the moment. No ATL, then his son will be third place. I just looked up and saw that. Hilarious. Shout out to Dale, wherever he is. Make sure you're looking at the right stuff for 5-amino NMQs ionic, because I've looked at them both. I'll send you some of the stuff that I found. How long until I can be a business owner again? Till I finish probation, which might be 3 years. Sucks. Have I considered trying to get a pardon on my conditions? Yes, I have, because I'm looking into other things that I've talked about with my attorney. The problem with this kind of stuff is you need to find attorneys that specialize in this stuff. Like my friend, I'll call him, who's a corporate attorney, who's great. He doesn't know shit about like probation and these things. So I had lunch with him. We talked about this stuff. He's like, man, I'm going to take this to somebody else and see. Clan, I hate. No, 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 no. I haven't taken Clan since before I retired. I'm not a big fan of Clan. I don't like the way it makes me feel. Injectable L-carnitine, great. Also wouldn't be interested in Winstrol anymore. Definitely not interested in Tren anymore. Test C is the GOAT. Not interested in Helios anymore these days either. That's quite the combo. Now, I have pretty much mastered how to use T3 in my days. You don't need to use that much of it. And you have to know how to put it in at the right time. But I don't like Clan. Even in a low dose, I don't like Clan. Favorite Blackstone Labs product is Glycolog all day, every day. Glycolog, everybody should be taking Glycolog unless you eat virtually zero carbs ever. Glycolog all day, every day. Favorite Blackstone product. That's an easy one. That's an easy one. For me, if I had access to literally anything that I wanted and knew that the protocol to make it was proper through a pharmaceutical company, for instance, I would run testosterone, Primobolan Depot. Maybe I'd sprinkle in some oxandrolone at one point. If I wanted to have a little bit of T3 in there, I would add in 25 milligrams of Proviron. And if I was dieting hard and going really, really hard, and my body fat was where I wanted it to be, I would do about 4 weeks of halotestin, 30 milligrams a day. Halotestin is the fucking best. It's got a bad rap because most meatheads don't know shit about chemistry. But halotestin, when you're in shape, woo, let me tell you. That's what brings the grain train out. And for those of you who are new or don't know, I used to get blood work constantly because I wanted to see how all these things were affecting me. So there were periods where I was getting my blood work literally every month. I didn't care, spend the money. I wanted to see what was going on. I was doing my own personal experiments. I did that for years. And I'll tell you, actually, I've talked about this before also. The thing that affected my body the most negatively on my blood work, with exception of prison, by far was drinking alcohol every day. When I was hitting that vodka hard, even though I was doing IVs of 1,000 milligrams of glutathione weekly to protect my liver enzymes were crazy. My creatinine levels were high. Kidney function was off. When I removed the alcohol from my life, my blood work got dramatically better. In fact, I did 2 different cycles of halotestin in different doses, where the liver enzymes weren't really elevated, which was incredible. The key with T3 is you've got to change your diet around. So when you do T3, a lot of guys make the mistake. So for instance, a lot of guys that run ketogenic diets, right? They start adding in T3 and they keep doing more and more and more and more. And the problem with that is your thyroid works a lot better when there's a conjunction going on with insulin process, right? So when you do T3, get on an aggressive carb cycle where you have like a really high day and then low days. And that revs things up like crazy. And when you put those high carb days in, works fucking phenomenal. So all of my athletes over the years, all the different competitors that I trained, whether they were in bikini, figure, I would say less than 25% of them used clenbuterol, but probably at least 50% of them would use the T3 protocols with those carb cycles. I know you mentioned how you want to be leaner, but seeing the old video of you yesterday compared to your current physique, I think your current more monstrous size and look is the way to go. Thank you, Nathan. Yes, a lot of people have talked about me being a lot bigger this time around. I appreciate it. When I look in the mirror, all I see is disgustingness. But I definitely, I would say I am bigger for sure. But I'm not too far off, I think. If I cleaned up my diet and put some of the fun toys, as I call them, in, I could probably accelerate it, but I'm trying to do it through hard work in the gym for the most part and running these little mini experiments on these different ingredients. So when I finish this 5-amino NMQ, I'll take a little break and then I'll do the SLU. And I have my little journal that I record these things in, but I appreciate you saying that. Alcohol and benzo withdrawals were brutal. Oh my Lord, Dustin Lee, you said it. Did you have any trouble with your anxiety while away? And do they just not care about that? they don't give a shit in prison. So, you know, fortunately I was sober for a few years before I went to prison, but I was on 2 milligrams of Ativan twice a day, which is the maximum legal limit. And I was rotating in Xanaxes too at the end because my anxiety was so bad. So it was very, very beneficial for me to get on that high dose of Paxil. 40 milligrams of Paxil is a high dose, man, because they made me go cold turkey basically off of the Ativan, and they threw me in a detox where fortunately they gave me 10 milligrams of Valium in the detox when I was in county jail. But man, I had to go through those withdrawals. But you know, once I got out of there, I was thrown off for a while, man. I was coming off for a while. Zionic, a buddy of mine, likes to use, he's using, I'm not sure the dosage. We talked about it a little bit. They found the right dose of Armor thyroid, the pig thyroid. And the Armor has done pretty well for him, it seems. Depersonalization, yeah. Phenibut, I messed myself up real bad with Phenibut too. That's why I'm very cautious with the anesthetized. I was taking Phenibut, man, guys, first of all, when I first started experimenting with Phenibut, sometimes I literally took 5 grams of it. I experimented with crazy doses, right? So, for doing it for so long, I told everybody I went on a trip and I didn't bring it with me on the trip, and I had horrible insomnia. I was in the Bahamas. It was so bad. It was so bad. I actually wound up drinking aggressively just to chill myself out. It was very bad, guys. So I did more research into it, you know, because this is going back to like 2013 or so. It was like when I first got down here, guys. And man, I had insomnia for about a month after that. So now, you know, when I figured out all there is to know about it, when we designed the anesthetized, which the main ingredient is Phenibut, there's 1.8 grams in there, it's a hefty dose, is why I tell people do not take it every day. And listen, I've met people that are like, I don't care, I'm taking it every day. And listen, they're going to be on it for life, and they better hope they can still get it, you know? That's basically addict lifestyle there. But back to the prison protocol. Thankfully, guys, being on that Paxil, I had no anxiety in prison. And eventually, when I got out of prison, I weaned myself off the Paxil, and I've been medication-free and anxiety-free. So, you know, sucks that I had to go through all that to figure it out. I'm sorry that you had to go through that, Dustin. Zionic, I'm just doing 30 days. I like to do little 30-day trials. Unless I see something remarkable, then I ride it out. So I probably should have waited to get through this holiday time, because to be honest with you, the first week I gained weight. But Thanksgiving week, we're eating so bad. We're going to all these holiday things and this and that. So as of Tuesday this week, I was 231, which is the lightest I've been since I've been home. So we'll see if I can ride this out. And hey, maybe I'd be worse if I wasn't on it. So found 500 MCG caps. So there's a pharmacy down here. I don't want to say their name because I think they do a lot of stuff that perhaps they're not supposed to. I don't know. But they They do all that stuff, actually. I don't like to mess with a lot of these research chem sites that you don't know who they are and this and that, you know. You don't know what you're truly getting. All of this black market gear that people are taking is fake. I'm sure of it. Everyone's like, oh, I'm running 600 milligrams of Primo. Oh, I'm running 900 milligrams of Masteron. They're probably not. There's so much fake shit out there now. Put it in a fancy box with a hologram. If you know a compound pharmacy and you know the people around there, and even that's not always the way to go, because unless you know your supplier in China where everything's coming from, see, this is one of the benefits. Like somebody was telling me the other day, right? They were like, man, the high tech and Blackstone DMHA hits way, way harder and smoother than other brands. And I'm like, well, who knows what they're actually getting? You know, Jared's a kingpin in the supplement game. He is, you know, at the top of the list of these manufacturing facilities in China that do all this stuff. Phone call basis, you know what I mean? So you know that you're getting the pure stuff that like that. You know, a lot of these companies, listen, I get it. It's a way to make a name for yourself. You know, these small companies that whip up real fast and come out with this crazy shit, they don't even know what they're getting. That's where all the third-party testing comes into play. I think you could do some Motomax every other day. You know, I think if you pushed it to like 2 or 3 days in a row and then took a break for a day or two, you could probably do that. I think if you're doing it 2 to 3 times a week, you're fine. You're fine, man. I was running the Phenibut every day for a few months, man. And I was messing around with it too because I wanted to see the way the different doses was feeling. I had a huge tub of it that I had gotten from my original manufacturer. So, you know, I had read that 5 grams would make you feel like you were on GHB. So I tried that a few times. It did not make me feel like I was on GHB. It just made me go to sleep. Anyway, it's been almost an hour, guys. Good conversation today. Good information. Zionic 484, thank you for sharing your experiences with that peptide. It's definitely on my radar as well. A lot of people creeping around outside today. I'm about to get up out of here. But we'll be back on Monday. Monday, new video with Chris Luke, chest training. Very good video. If you haven't seen the back workout, check it out. And check out the video I put out last night, guys. 8 minutes that'll make you laugh. And you'll see some hard shots thrown in that video for sure. Very, very good video. Funny story on the PJ Braun Fitness YouTube page. Tell your friends, subscribe, like it, do all that stuff. Help my brother out. But I appreciate you guys always. We're going to shut it down. Get into that 60-minute mark. You did a good one today. I appreciate you guys. Woo. Woo. And that'll be that. Winding it down here. Here we go. All right, guys. Thank you all. Have a great weekend. Be safe. Enjoy it. God bless you all. Namaste, as the yogis say. And peace out. Bye, guys. Lucky day, Friday the 13th, baby.